Hello students, in our today's lecture we are starting the chapter number 2 or unit number 2 in our corporate accounting. Chapter name is valuation of share. In this chapter we have to find out the value of the equity share in the various methods. Basically there are two methods. First is net asset valuation method and second is yield method. Now we are starting with the first method. Method name is net asset valuation method. Basically we have to find out the intrinsic value on the basis of the net asset valuation method. We have finding the intrinsic value of the shares. What is the formula of the intrinsic value of the shares? Intrinsic value of the shares is equals to net asset divided by number of shares. There are basic points that you are to consider while calculating the valuation of the shares, right? So first is goodwill. If you can't understand the chapter or unit number 1 valuation of goodwill, you cannot start with the valuation of shares, right? So if you are not sure about the valuation of a goodwill, revise all the videos of the valuation of goodwill, right? Then and only then you can start with the valuation of shares, right? So first in this we have to include the goodwill in our net asset, right? So if value of the goodwill is not given in the book or majority it is not given, right? So first we have to find out the value of goodwill from which are the method is given, the valuation method of average profit or super profit or capitalization of super profit or capitalization of average profit, whichever method is given, we are all covered in chapter number 1 or unit number 1, right? And we have to include the value of goodwill in the net asset, right? Then and only then we can find out the intrinsic value of the shares. So basically first step of this method is to find out the value of goodwill if it is not given in the balance sheet, right? Then while calculating the goodwill, we all know that we have to find out the capital employed, but in the valuation of goodwill we can't take the non-trading investment, right? So after valuation of a goodwill, and when we find out the value of goodwill, then what we have to do? We have to find out the net asset for the valuation of shares, and in that the formula would be like this: capital employed, thus we have find out in the valuation of goodwill, then plus goodwill, that value of a goodwill that find out in step number 1. Then we have to add a non-trading investment, right? And then we deduct the preference share capital and any arrears of the preference dividend, right? And then we find out the net asset, and here also the fictitious asset are not taken into the consideration, and after that we have to deduct a total liability, then we get the net asset and number of shares we have. So we directly find it out the intrinsic value of the shares, right? If the valuation of goodwill chapter is your strong and you can find out the valuation of goodwill, then for you it's easy to solve the valuation of shares. Then you have to just add some things and put into the formula, you will get the answer, intrinsic value of the shares, right? Let's solve and let's understand with the help of the illustration. Let's start the illustration number 4. Ascertain the intrinsic value of the equity share of the X Limited from the information provided below. Whenever it's written the intrinsic value, that means you have to find out the net asset valuation method, right? So ascertain the intrinsic value of the equity share of the X Limited. Balance sheet is given. Here goodwill is the 50,000 is given, right? But in the additional information, some other information is given. Goodwill of the company is taken as 3 times as a super profit, right? So on the basis of the super profit method of the valuation of goodwill, first we have to find out the value of goodwill, right? The company average annual profit after deducting at 50% tax are 2,73,000. Expected rate return on equity capital employed is 10%. That means expected rate is 10% is given, right? So on the basis of the super profit method, first we have to find out the valuation of goodwill by using which method? Super profit method. So first we are finding the valuation of goodwill on the basis of super profit method. Then we will find the intrinsic value of the equity share of the X company, right? So let's start. First we have to find out the valuation of goodwill. Valuation of goodwill. On which method? Super profit method. What are the steps for the super profit method? Step number 1, capital employed. For the capital employed, we have to take the total asset and total liabilities, right? So let's total asset. First, land and building. The depreciation amount is given in the liability side. So 13,50,000. Sorry. The market value is given. For the land and building, 13,000, 50,000 is given and market value of the 14 lakh is given. So we take the market value. So land and building market value will be 14 lakh. Right? Then plant and machinery. Plant and machinery 12 lakh 50,000 and depreciation is given 50,000. So 12 lakh 50,000 minus depreciation 50,000, we get 12 lakh. As same as a unit number 1 valuation of goodwill. No change in the valuation of goodwill. Then furniture 10,000. Investment. Shares in subsidy. It is a trading account, so it will take, trading investment, so we have to consider it subsidy. Company investment 1,50,000. 10% debenture in other company, that is a non-trading investment. So while calculating the capital employed, we are not taken into the consideration, right? Then debtors. Stock and cash. Let's total of the total assets. $14 lakh plus 12 lakh plus 10,000 plus 1,50,000, 60 plus 80 plus 5,000. 29 lakh 5,000. Now let's consider the total liability. %10 debentures 4 lakh and current liability 95,000. It will come 4,95,000. We get total asset 29,05,000 minus total liability, we get 4,95,000. Net asset will be 24,10,000. Out of that, we have to deduct the preference share capital. So preference share capital. Preference share capital will be 10 lakh. It will come 14 lakh 10,000. Capital employed is equals to 14 lakh 10,000. Right? Step number 1 is capital employed. That we have to find out the 14 lakh 10,000. Step number 2, expected profit. Expected profit is equals to capital employed into rate of expected return. Capital employed is 14 lakh 10,000 into expected rate is 10%. So it will come 1,41,000. Expected profit would be 1,41,000. Now step number 3, average profit. Annual average profit of the company is given 2,73,000, but after deducting 50% tax. So it's a profit after tax. So profit after tax is given 2,73,000. Then we have to deduct a preference dividend. First we have to deduct interest on non-trading investment. So interest on non-trading investment 10% debentures. So 40,000 into 10%, 4,000. But it's a profit after tax. In the profit, the tax is already deducted. So in the interest on an investment, also we have to deduct the tax. So into 50% tax, it will come 2,000. So 2,000, it will come 2,71,000 less preference dividend. Preference dividend will be 10% preference share. So 10 lakhs 10%, it will come 1 lakh. 1,71,000. Average profit will be 1,71,000. Right? Step number 4, super profit is equals to average profit minus expected profit. Average profit will be 1,71,000 minus 1,41,000. It will come 30,000. Now last step number 5, goodwill. Goodwill is equals to super profit into number of years purchase. 30,000 into number of year purchase is 3. It will come 90,000. Goodwill came to the 90,000, right? So valuation of goodwill has been done. Now we are calculating the valuation of shares. What was the formula of the valuation of share? Net asset divided by number of equity shares. So first we have to net asset for the valuation of shares. So we have already calculated the capital employed. We have already calculated the, including after deducting the preference share capital, right? So we have already calculated the capital employed 14,10,000. So out of this we have directly do the few steps. Two things. First is goodwill, known trading investment that we are deducted in the valuation of goodwill, but it is taken into the consideration while valuation of the shares, right? So both the things we have to add it in the capital employed. So capital employed is equals to 14,10,000 plus we have to add goodwill that we have find it out, it is a 90,000, and then we have to add known trading investment. Known trading investment was 40,000, so we have to add it back. So 14,10,000 plus 90,000 plus 40,000, it will come 15,40,000. It is net asset, right? Now let's find out the intrinsic value. Intrinsic value is equals to net asset upon number of equity shares. Net asset will be 15,40,000 upon number of equity shares 1 lakh. It will come 15.40 rupees. 15.40 rupees. What does that mean? Actual the book value of the shares is rupees 10, but after the so many years of the profit earning business is doing good, now the intrinsic value would be business and the valuation of share will be increased by 15.40 rupees. Understood? Now we are studying the second method, yield method. In the yield method we have to find out the market value of the share. What would be the formula of the market value of the share? Market value is equals to percentage of the dividend divided by expected rate of return into paid up capital per share. Right? What was the formula? Percentage of dividend, expected rate of return into paid up capital per share. The expected rate and paid up value of the share, it is given in the sum. But first we have to find out the percentage of a dividend. So what is the formula of the percentage of dividend? Percentage of dividend is equals to profit available for the equity dividend, right? Divided by equity share capital into 100. So in this we have to do a adjustment in the profit, right? Then and only then we can start the sum. That is a formula of the market value, right? In addition, there is a other value that known as fair value. Fair value is equals to intrinsic value plus market value divided by 2. In the majority of sum, you have to find out the fair value, right? To find it out the fair value, you have to find it out the intrinsic value as well as market value. Then and only then you can find out the fair value. So in the majority of sum, you have to find it out the fair value. What is the formula of the fair value? Fair value of the share is equals to intrinsic value plus market value divided by 2. Simple enough. So majority of a sum, you have to calculate all the procedure in intrinsic value, market value as well as fair value. For the kind of the intrinsic value that we are studying in illustration number 4, we have to start with the valuation of goodwill, then valuation of shares in the intrinsic value, market share, and then fair value. Right? Generally, it is a 15 mark sum asked in the examination. So you have to calculate all the things, including valuation of goodwill, then intrinsic value, market value, and lastly fair value. Right? So let's start with the illustration. Illustration number 11. Illustration number 11. The following balance sheet of the Devendra Limited as on 31st March 2012. The liability and asset side is given. Let's see the additional information. The value of the land and building after depreciation has appreciated by the 1,49,000. The present market value of the plant and machinery is 7 lakh. The company average annual profit before deducting tax at a 50% at 3,60,000. The expected rate of return on a capital employed in this type of business is considered to be 10%. Value of the goodwill of the company has been ascertained as a 2 years of the purchase of the super profit. Right? From the above particular, ascertain the fair value of the equity share of the company. What we have to find out? Fair value. For the fair value, we have to calculate both the things, intrinsic value and market value. For the intrinsic value, we find out the goodwill. Goodwill on the basis of the super profit method. Let's start the illustration number 11. First, we are doing the calculation of a goodwill. So, first note is valuation of goodwill on the basis of super profit method. So, first step is capital employed. For the capital employed, total asset minus total liability. Let's calculate total asset. First thing is land and building. The adjustment is given that value of the land and building after deducting the depreciation, it will appreciate at the 1,49,000. So land and building 5,40,000 is given, plus we have to add 1,49,000. It will come 6,89,000. Right? So 6,89,000 plus plant and machinery. The market value of the plant and machinery is given 7 lakh. So write it down. Then other assets. Other assets are 1 lakh minus depreciation 25,000. It will come 75,000. Then investment. For the calculation of the goodwill, we are only consider the trading investment. So, subsidiary company investment came 30,000. 10% debenture of the Jitendra Limited don't include. Then stock 80,000. Debtors after deducting bad debt reserve, it will come 1,05,000. Last, cash 31,000. Let's total. Total is 17,10,000. Total liability 13% debentures 2,50,000. Creditors 70,000. Bank OD 30,000. Bills payable 10,000. Total of the total liability is 3,60,000. Right? So capital employed is equals to 17,10,000 minus 3,60,000. It will come 13,50,000 minus preference share capital. Preference share capital is 3 lakh. It will come 10,50,000. Capital employed came 10,50,000. Now step number 2. Expected profit is equals to capital employed into rate. 10,50,000 into 10%, it will come 1,05,000. Now step number 3. Step number 3 is average profit. Average profit is given before deducting 50% tax. 3,60,000 is given. So earning before interest and tax is given 3,60,000. Right? So first we have to deduct the interest on a non-trading investment. So non-trading investment face value is given 1 lakh. 1 lakh into 10%, it will come 10,000. We get 3,50,000. Then we have to deduct tax. Rate is 50%. It will come 1,75,000. Then we have to deduct preference dividend. Dividend is given 10%. So 3 lakhs 10%, 30,000. We get average profit 1,45,000. Right? Now step number 4, super profit. Super profit is equals to average profit minus expected profit. Super profit is 1,45,000 minus 1,05,000. It will come 40,000. Now step number 5, goodwill. Goodwill is equals to super profit into number of years. So 40,000 into number of years is twice. Twice means 2. It will come 80,000. Valuation of goodwill will be 80,000. Right? After the valuation of goodwill, first we have to find out the intrinsic value. So let's start. Valuation of shares. First we have find it out. The net asset. Already we have calculated the capital employed. Capital employed would be 10,50,000. Then we have to add only 2 things. First is goodwill and then is non-trading investment. So we are adding goodwill 80,000 plus non-trading investment 90,000. Total is 15,20,000. So intrinsic value is equals to net asset divided by number of equity share. So 15,20,000 upon number of shares. Equity share number of shares is 8,000. How it will come? 8 lakh divided by 100 per share. So 8 lakh divided by 100, it will come 8,000. So intrinsic value would be 15,20,000 divided by 8,000. 190. Sorry, I have mistaken. Sorry. Here I have a total mistake. It will come 12,20,000. So it will come 12,20,000. So 12,20,000 divided by 8,000. It will come 152.50 rupees. So intrinsic value would be 152.50 rupees. Now we are calculating the market value. For the find it out the market value, first we have to find it out the percentage of a dividend. For the percentage of the dividend, let's calculate first the profit. So average profit is given. Now not consider the average profit that we have calculated in the valuation of goodwill. Don't consider that, right? The average profit given in the book 3,60,000. Consider this one 3,60,000. It is after tax. So directly deduct the tax from here 50%. No need to deduct the interest on non-trading investment. No need to deduct the interest on non-trading investment. That calculation we do only in the valuation of goodwill, not in the valuation of market value of the share. Right? So 3,60,000 minus tax 50%, it will come 1,80,000. 1,80,000. Deduct preference dividend, it will come 30,000. Average profit would be 1,50,000. Right? Why we are not considering here the non-trading investment? Because the market value of the share doesn't affect the non-trading investment. If we are doing the investing in the some other business or getting the return on it, there is a beneficial for the market value, right? So market value of the share doesn't fluctuate with the non-trading investment, whether we are investing or not investing, that shown in the balance sheet. But then the valuation of goodwill, it does affect. That means we are not investing in our business, we are investing in others' business. That's why while valuation of the goodwill consider, we don't consider the non-trading investment. But here the market value doesn't affect. No need to deduct the non-trading investments, right? So please remember this, while valuation of a goodwill, we have to deduct the interest on a non-trading investment. But while valuation of the shares, we are finding the market value, we don't deduct the non-trading investment interest. You can easily see the difference of the average profit in the valuation of goodwill. The average profit is coming is 1,45,000, and here it's come 1,50,000, right? Now we have an average profit, so let's find out the percentage of dividend. So rate of dividend is equals to, profit is 1,50,000 upon equity share 8 lakh into 100. It will come 18.75 percentage. 18.75 percentage. It is just a rate of dividend. Now we are calculating the market value. Market value is equals to rate of dividend divided by expected rate into paid up value. The rate of dividend is 18.75, expected rate is 10, and paid up capital, how you will find out? You can easily see that the equity share of rupees 100 each fully paid up, that means 100 rupees is fully paid up. So paid up capital would be 100 rupees. It's a paid up value of the per share, right? So market value of the share, it will come 187.50 rupees. That is market value, right? Now we have to find out the fair value. So fair value is equals to intrinsic value plus market value divided by 2. So intrinsic value would be 152.50 plus market value is 187.50 divided by 2. The market value is 170 rupees per share. Understood? There are basic points you have to remember this while calculating the valuation of goodwill and valuation of the shares, right? And generally in all the sum we have to find out the fair value. For that fair value we have to step would be valuation of goodwill, then valuation of intrinsic value, then valuation of market value, and then fair value, right? Thank you.